Hey, what's up, you guys? Malcolm X 2X here, coming to you with a deck profile. Um, this deck profile, I would say it's somewhat of my own build, kind of, because this is stuff that I will run in this deck. It's kind of like quick draw with my little spin to it or whatever. So yeah, let me just show you the deck. I'm gonna show you the main, the extra, and then side. So first we'll go do the main. Okay, first card, as you may notice, it's Cherry Inmato. The name of the deck that I gave it is Cherry Inmates. It's really good. It spams the field quickly, and basically it's just a control deck. Um, yeah, but when this is ran into, you search out two more Inmato monsters. So you will search out a Cherry Inmato and a Inmato, and what that does is after they end their turn or whatever, then you would sync out. So yeah, for level 5, and that can be really good in most situations. Or you can summon another level 3 and go for 8. So yeah, good first turn card. Next you have 2 Inmato. Um, Basically you just use him for like discard fodder. You run Allure, so like you might want to lure him away, or you just use him for a 3-star. Um, but basically that's all he is. Sometimes you can get his effect off and get a +2. So uh, next, 2 Lonfires. I tried to completely bling out the deck before I showed it to you guys. These are CP Lonfires. So yeah, Lonfire is just all around good card. You already know what it does. No need to explain. Next, you run 2 Ryko. You do need a little bit of milling in this deck. And Ryko has always been a good card to mill with. He's been played very heavily in this format, so Ryko's always good. Next, you run 2 QuickDraw. 2 Dandylion, you already know what that does. The whole engine, I don't need to explain it. Um, 2 Caius, they go along with your Dandelions, your tokens and stuff. They're easy to get Caius out to remove certain things. 1 Spore, I love Spore. To me, he's like the best plant tuner, because what he does is when he's in the grave, along with one of your lone fires that you already used, like 2 of them, because you go lone fire, tribute lone fire for lone fire, and then what you can do is just go level 4, go Black Rose or something like that. Um, you want 1 Tomato and 1 Sangan. Basically, it searches of the deck. They search out almost everything in the deck, so no need to worry about that. 1 Light and Darkness, 1 Tytannial, and 1 Dark Arm. Those are your 3 2800 beach sticks. These are your boss monsters. These are what you want to bring out to go for game or whatever. Especially Light and Darkness, because while you have Light and Darkness out on the field, you want to get your hand you know depleted. You want to get a nice big hand so you have a lot of plays, and this deck always gives you a lot of plays. So yeah, and you want to make sure you get like your Tytannial engraved, so that way when this dies, you go for your Tytannial, or your Dandelion or something like that. So that's it for the monster lineup. Next, I'm gonna do the spells. You run 2 Mark of the Rose. Like I said, this is a control-based deck, so with your Inmatos and stuff engraved, you can remove them with Mark of the Rose to take control of your opponent's monster and just do whatever you want with the monster. Mainly, you only use the monster for 1 turn, so you don't give your opponent back the monster. So yeah. Um, Also, to add to the control, you want Brain Control and Mind Control. So, you know, that levels out the playing field for the control. Spell and Trap removal, you got 2 Nobleman Exterminations. I love this card because in the trap lineup, you're gonna see like you stun your opponent, so they can't really do nothing. So they just have a whole back row of traps, and this helps you eliminate, the traps that they have. So yeah. To add to the spell and trap removal, your standards, heavy and MST, you already know what they do. Don't need to explain. Um, 1 Allure and 1 Pot of Averice. That's your draw power. With Allure, you do run a lot of darks in the deck, and what you want to do is, you know, if you have a Cherry Inmate, like 2 Cherry Inmatos in hand, you want to get rid of one of those, or 2 Inmatos. You want to get rid of one of those with Allure. And Pot of Avarice is just to reuse your stuff. You only need 1 because you don't mill that much in this deck. Um, Next, you run Foolish. You already know what that does. Just drop stuff to the grave. And finally, D.D.R. When you remove stuff with Mark of the Rose, like say if you removed your Tytannial, you would go D.D.R. You discard a card, and then you can get your Titanium back from removed from play. So yeah, okay, that's it for the magics. Next for the traps, you run 2 Royal Decree. I love Decree. Decree is like probably one of my favorite trap cards, because it just locks up the field. Your opponent can't really do anything when it's out unless they go like heavy or MST. In that case, you will have a Stardust out or something like that, or a Light and Darkness. You want to get this out first before you play Light and Darkness. So you know, basically you just lock your opponent up. They can't really do anything. And if this does leave the field, it'll leave the field with Light and Darkness, because Light and Darkness will explode. So that way you get another monster out. So yeah. Next you run 2 Dust Tornado. Like I said, the deck is just control based deck. So what you want to do is get everything, clear the field, so you know your big moves go off without a bang. Without a problem, whatever. So what you would do is you would set Dust Tornado, go Dust Tornado, and then set your Royal Decree. During the end phase or whatever, or during your main phase 1, you would activate Royal Decree. So yeah. Next you run Trap Dustshoot. Really good card. You already know what it does. No need to explain. Solemn, you already know what it does, and Mirror Force. So yeah, that's the main deck. I'm gonna give you the extra deck now. For the extra deck, you run 2 Junk Destroyers. I love this card. Sometimes you can get up to 3 cards to destroy, because QuickDraw and 3 Dandylion tokens or something like that. Or it's just easy to go Junk Destroy in this deck. Like it's so easy and it's so good. So yeah. You run 2 Drill Warriors, but unfortunately eBay is taking very long to send my shit, and I'm really getting pissed off. But I wanted to bring you guys the deck list. So yeah, just know you run 2 Drill Warriors, and Drill Warrior is just an overall good card. You already know what it does. You run 1 Turbo Warrior, you run 1 Junk Archer, and you run 1 Nitro Warrior. Those are all your synchron monsters that you are gonna be bringing out during the duel. So yeah. Of course, you run 2 Stardust, just great card all around. 1 RDA, 1 Black Rose. The thing I love about Black Rose is a lot of people underestimate his second effect, which is remove 1 plant from the grave, and you turn your opponent's face down to face up attack position with 0 attack. So with you running a lot of cards that can beat the hell out of your opponent and just control them, this adds more control and stability to the deck. So yeah. 1 Ali Just Catasta, 1 Mistworm, 1 Bryanak, 1 Goyo, and 1 Colossal. So that's it for the extra deck. And now we're gonna do the side deck. For side deck, you got 1 Chimera Tech. Sorry for the glare, you guys. 2 Cyber Dragons, they're both ulti, which is really nice. 2 Thunder Kings, 2 D.D. Crows, 1 more Ryko, 1 Consecrated, 2 Bottomless, just in case you have to side out the Royal Decrees. 2 D Prison, just like I said, just in case this is your protection. 1 Mind Crush, really good card, and 1 Gotham's E-Call. The thing I've noticed, excuse me, the thing I noticed about the deck is when you mill, and when you drop cards from your hand, you really go plus more than a minus. So it's not really that big of a deal for you to do that. And I think that's about it. So before I sit here and let this video get any longer, comment, rate, subscribe, and thanks for watching. Peace. Later.